Yes. The boys are back. The triple threat of boxing is back. You're listening to Knock 'em Out the Box. My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host, with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic Left Right Kid, Mr. Brendan Long. What's the word, Kid?
113.
Indeed, episode 113.
Recording this on 113 while we're looking at a wolf moon.
We
So
are.
howl at the moon.
Howl at the moon.
Billy's a werewolf. Can't talk. Got the cold.
Oh. Billy is here, but under the weather, but he's in the motherfucking building.
I
My
gave
co-hosts
I
are
gave him a
looking.
cough through this thing. I've been coughing for 3 months.
All three of the members of Knock 'em Out the Box have been on a health kick. We all look good. If I don't mind saying so myself, we all look young and healthy and spry.
Spry.
You know what I'm saying? For men in our 40s.
That's it. Yeah, Billy's in that club now. It's great.
He is. So it's
Look,
better that
look at that face.
he's not happy. He's not
I know.
happy.
He was hanging on. He
Look,
was hanging on to the 30s for a
you
while.
got to look at it this way, man. When you look good and you're healthy and you have a younger, pretty wife and three healthy, good-looking kids, that's a good thing.
I'll take it.
Some people don't get a lot of people we grew up with, the three of us didn't make it this fucking far. So
Nah. Facts.
Yeah, but I'm greedy, so I want more.
I hear you. Always want more. Episode 113.
No, not more kids.
No.
Careful what you wish for.
No, sorry. Let's rephrase that.
Right. Should we get into some news, B? Should we?
Big. Depending on,
I have a lot.
Big news.
There's big news, and there's a lot of news. So I like healthy news weeks because I like when me and you shoot the shit because we half argue. This fight sucks, you say. I say this fight's good. This guy, I hate this guy.
Hold on.
This guy's a jerk.
Are you saying that I can be curmudgeonly?
Yes. More. You're a curmudgeon. You're mudgy long in just regular life. More kind of contrarian when it comes to the show.
Okay.
There is a huge mistake made by me in our last episode.
Okay.
The Naki Awards, my prospect of the year, I forgot to put on our final, what do you call that? Our docket.
Okay.
We didn't agree on this. Gun to my head, you do agree with me. If you don't, just check me right now. But my prospect of the year for 2024 was Abdullah Mason. I think he's special. I think
we didn't say that last week.
Nope.
Oh,
I went back.
Sorry.
I went back. It's totally my fault because you did all these good things, and I said to you, prospect of the year. We text each other a couple names, and I was like, bro, it's not even a question for me.
It's not.
Like this kid in every calculable measure, the way he behaves, even down to that. All these kids, as the younger kids say, this guy's crashing out, which all these guys are currently as we're recording. Tank's crashing out, Ryan's crashing out, Haney's crashing out, Bill Haney's crashing out. This Abdullah Mason is on his deen, strict Muslim brother, good kid, got good people around him. His skills, his IQ, he's wise beyond his age, not just as a man, but as a fighter. I look for huge things. You and I are very hesitant about moving people fast. So this is going to be a very interesting year for me and you to say, okay, who is he ready for? What level of guy? An ex-champion, a guy who fought for a championship but never won one, main guy that's a bit faded. He's good enough where that we got to start talking about that in 2025. The just demolishing guys.
When you go from prospect to contender?
Yeah.
Because he's going to be that will happen this year.
Yes. If
they're moving him as fast as they're moving Keyshawn Davis, Mason,
or Hitchens seemed to be moving slow for a minute there, and then out of nowhere, we go, he's got a power fight who just needs to. Subriel, who was once our guy. So I don't mean B that he just got thrown into a title fight, but we were definitely referring to Richardson as a prospect for a while, and then all of a sudden he's a real champ who beat a real guy. Who beat a real guy? You know what I mean?
And Mason is of prospect age.
Correct. We're usually
Traditional prospect age.
yes, there's a lot of guys hanging around now that we're going, B, this guy's 27, 28,
Right.
and he's still
When does it?
yeah, when do you get the wheels turning?
Right.
So I just wanted to like sort of apologize to our listeners. And I know this seems trite, you know, I'm not assuming the brother listens, but like
Of course he
to
listens.
Abdullah, because I'm really, really big on Abdullah Mason. I think that he's going to be a special fighter, and that was my mistake. We both discussed it, and we both said, because B came up with all the categories, and I said, B, we should do prospect of the year. We kicked a couple names around, a couple people, you know, other publications and websites and podcasts and et cetera, had Moses Italma, and I'm going to be doing the Running Man, into the Cabbage Patch, into the Pee Wee Herman, into the Worm, which will be filmed for YouTube and IG when he gets sparked out and completely fucking exposed within the next 24 months. And it's going to be dirtier
For
than
no reason other
gonna
than
be-
you just want to be right.
it's going to be no, I am right. It's going to be dirtier than Jared Big Baby Anderson got done.
He's coming back.
No, I know. I mean
Okay.
that knockout loss.
I know, I'm
That's how
teasing.
this is.
Yo, did you see how big Bacoli is compared to
Yeah.
everybody else at that
Yeah,
ring?
did you see him, like they did a face off just playing around with AJ? He was the only one even close, because AJ's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's big.
He's the only one that was even close. But Moses Italma is gonna get fucking Martin Bacoli'd. And I am going to fucking I'm gonna fucking put on a fucking mink coat when I do all these dances, and it's gonna be fucking glorious.
You got a
Because
mink?
I will fucking for that. I'm pretty much fucking like 25 for 25 with prospects who I know are gonna fucking get packed up.
People
And
don't really wear fur coats anymore, right? It's Gore-Tex, Jerry.
they fucking should. It's good, Sherry. They should. They should.
You know, you don't really see it as much anymore.
Okay, so let's
Maybe we get
start
a
this
fur coat.
off. Yeah, I don't know.
Should I get a fur coat?
I think you should. I think it should be faux fur, because an animal killing animals is foul ball for that. No?
I wear a goose down jacket.
Look,
I think
I
they.
wear leather kicks, but let's not OD with a whole animal.
What do I get? Like a roadkill?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a roadkill,
like a squirrel. Yeah, like a
Like
squirrel.
how many squirrels would it take? It's like how many licks does it take to get to
Probably like
0
30
centimeters?
squirrels, a couple coons, a couple possum, right?
They're like got thin hair though.
I
That can't
think
be warm.
raccoons are like cute and people hate them. Like, nah, fuck them.
They're nonsense.
Hey, look, this Sam the Sleaze bag is like hanging out with coons.
Listen, let me tell you something. I seen this Sam the Sleazebags IG. He is the raccoon master. That
He's
dude
also a little bit close to you, so I might send him over there with the pack.
he probably rides them down here like, yeah.
right. Like, nay.
like a fucking like a sled dog team.
Like the Iditarod.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Mush.
Iditarod. But
Yeah,
it's coons.
I'm afraid of them. They got
Okay,
little
so
hands. They can grab you.
I'll tell you something I like when it happens on this show, B. When you and I get some fucking news that we can't talk about, right? Then somebody else
Breaks it.
kind of does, and then our guy doesn't take the, you know what I mean? So I get the fucking drop from someone who was there on this, and I'm like, B, I don't know how we should parlay this. Then this fucking ESPN knockout comes out and says the fight between Canelo and Bud is set for September 2025 in Vegas. I had the drop on it from someone who was there while the talks happened.
Right.
And was like, how do we break this without sending our guy up the river or referencing who he is?
Well, we could do that without doing that.
You know what I'm saying? No. Of course,
Yeah.
of course. But so guys, look, I said to B that so Canelo's going into camp in March. I said to B, I think he's gonna go Christian and Billy, and then Bud in September. And B said to me that he thinks Christian and Billy has a fight.
Yeah,
So,
Or
Now
did
this
Willie,
is
someone, either in Billy
your
or
boy Skull. How do you say his name?
William Skull?
Skull. So
You know what I call him now? I call him Billy Crossbones.
Mhm.
Um, did Skull book a fight? No.
So
Skull
what?
doesn't. He just fought Shishkin
Yeah.
in October.
So guys, while
Uh,
B's looking that up, I just wanted to explain. We were absolutely set because this is our pound for pound edition. We were very set on removing both Canelo and Vasil Lomachenko for two different reasons. It appears that Vasil absolutely for the time being is done, and May will be 1 year. It doesn't matter if we like a fighter or dislike them. We have rules, which is a year. And he's definitely going to be out for that regardless. We think he's going to retire. I think he's going to retire and then eventually come back because it's been his life for so long. But I think he's I think the Haney decision, a lot of these things drained him emotionally. But he is now going to be removed. And B and I went 10 toes down. If Canelo continues with the Bum of the Month Club, he's off. Now, due to recent
developments
movement and developments, we had a sidebar, B and I, and said,
tonight.
he fights a kind of real guy in May, and then Bud, and those aren't Bum of
Yeah,
the
I'm
Month
not
Club.
right.
He's not yanked yet. Doesn't move him up, doesn't move him
I
down.
don't love the Bud fight. Let's be
I know
honest.
you don't. I know you don't. But
It's gonna sell.
I mean, I don't know if we're ready to talk about it tonight when it's, what, 9 months away. I don't know if it's even
We're
you and me
not.
to touch it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely like it more than you. Um, the aforementioned Jared Big Baby Anderson is set to face Marios Calais on February 13th, Valentine's Day, right? That's Valentine's Day.
That is the
As
14th.
as
No,
part
he's gonna be on it's the 14th. It's the Friday's Valentine's Day
right,
at the
Valentine's Day.
Garden. That's Keyshawn.
As part of the undercard for Keyshawn Davis, Dennis Berencheck. Hey, look, guys, when you get starched and packed up the way he did, basically every comeback fight, I don't care if it's a club guy, you're just always waiting to see how he reacts to everything.
Yeah. So
We've seen guys come back, get hit with a stiff, nice jab, and go down. I don't mean knocked out necessarily, but just touched, crack on the point of the chin, and takes a knee, get back up. You're like, this guy might not be that guy. B has expressed that his feeling is Jared Anderson was never that guy. They wanted to sell him. He was on the heels of Wilder. We needed an American heavyweight. And B feels that, when there's a need for something, they'll create it.
I
Look,
think
when
they
you,
did.
when you look at the island of Puerto Rico, and we're going to get into something, a Boricua fighter who we find to be very special, B, but we see what they're still on some level trying to do with Berlanga. Top Rank tried it, failed miserably because he was just looking mediocre. Um, I was, we were supportive of Xander Zayas. As it went along, you became a little bit less impressed. And then I said, yeah, I wasn't impressed at all by the last performance, but I'll give him a furlough. You know what I mean? See when he comes back, how he looks. But I certainly don't think, like, you're always looking for Tito.
Well,
You're
like,
always looking for Miguel Cotto. You need that
and
star
and
from the island.
at the one thing I'll say though, Xander Zayas was born in Puerto Rico, correct?
Correct. On the
But,
island.
but
Yeah.
wasn't he raised in Orlando?
Look, my understanding is that, look, he became somewhat of we were aware of him at like 18.
Yeah,
I
16.
think he came here. Yeah. I think that's when he came here.
I'm looking him up now.
I think he came here at 13 for the first time. Like, I don't think he spoke a word of English until 13. He's also a really good kid and I like him. So a lot of the times when you were critiquing him and breaking fights down, you know, I wasn't disagreeing with any of the breakdown.
At
As
11, when he was 11, he moved to Florida
okay,
with his mom, sister,
I
and stepfather.
that's absolutely news to me. I thought he was there
So
until
he's
13, maybe 15 or 16 or 17. Look, man, look, Tito didn't speak a lick of English, a fucking lick of English. Colto, which I always say to you, B,
you're right though. He did not know English before he moved to the States when he was 11.
Mm. But B, I always say it's like I have so much respect for these guys. It really
Yeah.
started with Goto, who learned English as a full-blown adult. I'm talking pushing in on 30 years old, and then became pretty fucking fluent.
Now he has a very good voice in English, and he speaks like this
He
with a
does.
very deep voice.
He does.
Miguel Cotto.
I think,
I like Cotto, the most emotionless guy in the world.
I was as you know, I don't know, I know you know this. I don't know if I've ever said it on the air, if I've said it 50 times, but I would go to every Cotto fight to root against him
I know.
because when you run with all Ricans and you got to listen to this, it's like being
You become you have a heel turn.
yes, you heel turn. It's
Well,
like
you're kind of a heel.
that's not true. It's look here.
You're a baby face.
Babyface all day. I'm a tweener.
You're like Bret Hart, kind of.
I'm like Stone Cold.
Oh yeah,
I
guess
do
so.
dastardly things, but I get the pop.
Dastardly.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that you've brought that word out of the 19th century.
What,
And
tweener?
no, no, dastardly.
Oh, dastardly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's now.
Oh, where did you see me say it on Will Mills' post?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I commented on it because
you did.
you made a comment that I had to piggyback on.
And then other people started commenting on dastardly too.
It's so funny. It's dastardly.
So, yeah, guys, because my whole crew is Boricua, and it never ends. B's wife is Boricua, her whole family, but it never ends. I'm always surrounded.
Mhm.
And everyone thinks B's in-laws are convinced I'm a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn that is masquerading as a Philly Italian. So I just go along with it.
I don't know how that happened, but by the way, that was a rumor at a barbershop 20 years ago too.
What?
Like your music came on, and
Yeah.
my barber, who is Puerto Rican, was the guy when I used to get my haircut
Yeah,
on 16th Avenue in Brooklyn. He was like, "Yo, this dude is from Brooklyn, and he's Puerto Rican." And I was like,
right. Yeah. So the beginning,
but don't mess my hair up.
pre everybody having the internet, I was a black dude with dreads. Then as pictures and videos came out, I guess the only way where when someone's like racially ambiguous,
Yes.
when something's on my head, meaning a hat, a
Yeah.
shamak, a scully, I people that's when I really get that he's Puerto Rican.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I grow my hair out and it starts getting a little bit curly, then I could have my hair out and they still might think I'm Puerto Rican. But when it's like this, just a low Caesar, then they're like, oh, he must be Italian. Like my hair
Right.
like this, I don't think right now you're looking at me, the fans aren't. I don't think I look Puerto Rican right now. But with something, if I have a hat on, just
Well, when you used to have the baldy, it was different.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
So yeah, B, what are your thoughts on Anderson coming back? How much of a
I
soft
think
touch is Mario's
so look, we're talking. I'm listening to Bob Arum interviews like right after the Bacoli fight, and they were like,
Yeah.
we told him not to do that, and he took the money and he ran, and that's when
Yeah.
Bob was going off on Turkey, going, he's gonna ruin fighters. It
Yeah.
reminded me of Waltz from The Godfather. I've had them all. She was the best, and he ruined her with his guinea charm and his olive oil voice.
Right. Maybe the greatest line ever.
So
The guinea charm.
his olive oil voice.
Very fucking racist.
It's great. I put a fucking horse head in his bed.
Uh-huh.
He called Tom Hagen my Kraut McFriend.
He did.
So anyway,
It's not a lie.
the Bob saying all of this stuff that
Yes.
Anderson sort of went rogue.
Yes.
We can't control, every fighter. What we do is we provide an advisory role and of course a promotion role, which we get a cut of the.
Of course.
Blah, blah,
There's
blah,
only
blah.
so much you can do.
Right.
You can
So
lead
he
the
said
horse to water.
I think he got $3.5 million for that Bacoli fight.
What?
Yeah. So they were like,
Look, I think that was a really bad move on Big Baby's part, but I did not know.
it was crazy money, dude.
I might have taken that.
So I've talked to other fighters who shall remain nameless. I don't want to burn their bridges.
Of course.
And their response was, he's young. who gives a shit? He can come back. You
I
have to
don't.
take that money at that
I
age and get out of the situation that you're in.
I agree with
That's
everything you just said.
life-changing money. For like most people, that's life-changing money.
It's bro. Listen, look back when this happened, and we said, "What the fuck is going on?" I didn't know the bag was that crazy.
Yeah. So
That changes everything for me. By
I
the
heard
way,
that I heard that inside info, by the way. Which I'm
doesn't
sharing with you
change.
guys.
It doesn't change to me that I agree with your thoughts on Jared Anderson.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would actually be if we're proven right moving forward. You know, we never wish bad on him, but if we're proven right, he's going to look like a genius.
Right. So my whole, can I just go a little further with this?
Please.
With both
I'm
Bob
very interested.
and Oscar in the past, or other promoters saying like, "Oh, he didn't listen to me." So what is he supposed to do? Get possibly anybody can get knocked out. A, it's the heavyweight division. B, he's a kid. C, they're still moving him with tough competition, guys who can punch. You get Jared Anderson into the top 25 or 30 of heavyweights, all of those guys can punch. So, he's not ready yet. I don't get what, I mean, I get it. The promoter has to protect their investment, but then the promoter also then has to defend these guys don't fight anybody anymore. These guys don't do this. These guys don't do that. If a guy wants to challenge himself, I don't see what the problem is. I guess, what if he won? What if he beat Bacoli? What does Bob say then?
If he beats Bacoli that night, it sounds like I just said
Spicoli, yeah.
If he beats Martin Bacoli that
Aloha,
night,
Mr. Hand.
Yes, he jumped. That was Cody Mack's real homeroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr. Hand's classroom. He went to that high school. He jumps the line, being is automatically a player.
Right.
I don't mean it Joshua Fury, but
yeah, of course.
He might get a Parker fight. He might get a Big Bang Zhang fight. You're already in line.
I don't really see the problem with what he did.
Calculated risks at young age are, like whoever you spoke to, you have to take them unless you believe it's going to turn into some, oh, now he's ruined. And I don't think Jared Anderson is ruined from that knockout. I think he's not as good as people think he is, but that has nothing to do with getting sparked out. If he loses to real
I think
guys,
when Bob and Oscar say this stuff, Vin, they're speaking more to the fickleness of the sport, and they masquerade them saying that as like, we did this to handle him this way. This is how you have to bring up a fight. Yo, man, he's 25. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
He's also expressed, I don't really love this, and I don't know how long I'm going to be around.
Right.
So if you're a guy that's 25 and you're like, yo, I'm pulling the Usyk, I'm going to be around till I'm 40, maybe it was dumb. Steven, then maybe it wasn't. But if your plan is to be around until you're 20.
I just don't like this whole.
When he was 23 or 24, I remember him. I remember the number was 27 for him. Now he's 25. It's only 2 years away.
Right.
If you're not active, what is that? 4, 5, 6 fights?
I don't like this talk. I think that kind of talk, when the promoter says that, turns fans off. It's like, it's basically saying like, we basically fix all of his fights.
If you really
until it's time for him to, like, either vie for a title or defend the title.
Yeah, or get an eliminator or something like that. No, you're right. You're right. If you really get analytical into what they're saying and read between the lines, we want to feed him cans until
we have to get him till it's just right.
Till it's just right. And that's not how life works.
And that's not how sports should work.
No, it's not how life should work, B. It's just you have to take advantages.
This isn't even a fucking, it's weird, like when we say that, it's like so what is, again, you and I talk about this ad nauseum on this show.
Yeah.
Is this then a real competitive sport, or are you guys, or you and I just talking about an entertainment?
No, it's certainly
entity?
It is
where athletes participate in.
It's certainly not we're not dealing with guys like Marlon Starling and Donald Curry and Mike McCallum, where you had, this murderer's row of guys
when they're 23.
When they're 23 to 26, all fighting each other.
Right.
So
they're all kids.
Yeah.
I mean, how old was Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns? How old were
late
they when they fought? The first, the
26,
first,
20,
the first fight,
26.
I think they were 21 and 22.
They
It's
were
like,
that young when they
yeah.
fought? I thought they were mid
Let me
20s.
see. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay. So yeah, guys. I don't know much about Mario's Colai. I don't know if it's Colias or Colias. I don't know much about him at all. Um, so clearly what Aram is doing, and it's not wrong, is putting him in with a guy that they perceive to be a soft touch. He's 12-3. He has 10 knockouts. So that's you got 10 wins by knockout. In 15
Yeah.
fights, he was stopped once. He fights out of Greece. Let's see. Um, you remember Attila Levine? Remember that name?
Leonard was 25 and
That's what I thought.
Hearns was 23.
Yeah, I thought Ray was like 25. Um, yeah, this guy lost to Attila Levine. I haven't heard that name in probably 10 years. Um, I, hey man, look, we're not making predictions because it's not for what, a month, right? It's a month away. I got my eye on that B that
Yeah.
that he gets chin checked. I don't mean knocked out,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be shocked by a knockdown, B.
Okay.
Um, so all right, let's talk a little bit about another crash out. Teofimo Lopez has turned down Top Rank's final offer for the Subriel Matias fight, which is being planned for March 15th in Vegas. I want to add that I saw him yapping in London that that's not true. So, okay, Teofimo, if it's not true, then the fight would be on. So
Bro,
what
get
do you
right with
mean?
your fucking promoter, you dumb dick. I mean,
Eddie, so
he's.
he was just look, he can't behave himself.
Did you see what he like?
Well,
He
the
was
a
walking around with his
brilliant
ring
text from
belt
you
thrown in the air.
is he Quincy Jones, and I went back and he looked fucking exactly like Quincy
He
Jones.
looks like Quincy Jones.
Eddie Hearn said the Top Ranks offer to fight Boots for the Lopez fight was less money than Boots earned to face Karen Shakadzian. I'm with Eddie and Boots on that. I mean, I'm not.
Wait a second. Top Rank offered Boots less money.
Yes.
Yeah, blow me, Top Rank, if that's the case.
Correct. This is from the horse's mouth. We're not saying. Look, we
Oh,
don't say.
I got a little teaser.
Do you?
I heard
Hit me with it.
April Philly. Knock 'em out the box, boys might be back in effect.
Might be back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If
by the way, if that's around opening day for the Fells, we might have to pull a double header.
Wow, we spoke about that before with this Irish Billy.
If I do baseball and boxing in the same day,
could this Irish Billy make it? Because he starts wetting his whistle around.
Dude,
the question is if you guys will make it to the end of the night. That's the question.
Dude, I have. Hang on, can I just say something right here? I have all faith in Base Coat Billy making it to the end of the night. I don't. But he's young and spry. Look at him.
But we have to deal with what he becomes. Like,
can't
what
wait.
does make it
Good
mean?
point.
It's the same thing as Raynone.
No,
Raynone is going to make it, but what Raynone are we getting? What Irish Billy are we
Well,
getting?
it depends. If me and Paulie are there, Raynone ain't making it because we dropped the hammers on him.
You just have to like weekend at Bernie's me through the security into the
Paul
event.
Malignaggi and Mudgy Long are very abusive to my friend Razor Raynone. They beat him with pillows.
I kicked him right in his back.
Yeah, I've seen you both beat him up. I like to do this twofold to always keep the fans aware of what's going on because they're hard-earned money. The economy's fucked up now. You know what I mean? And I like to see Brandon's brain explode live on air. David Benavidez versus David Morrell is pay-per-view and will cost $79.99. David Benavidez, David Morrell is a very nice Saturday night Showtime card, about 15 to 20 to 25
This
years
is just
ago.
greed.
If
greedy.
this helps anyone, I'm not talking for me and B or Irish Billy. The rematch of Cool Boy Steph, Brandon Figueroa is on the undercard. That should be a nice fight, unless Cool Boy Steph is just not where he used to be. I have no reason to think he's not, but we'll see. We both thought he looked shaky in his last appearance.
This is upper division, right?
Yes. So Isak Cruz, who B and I don't think very highly of as a
Oh, he's like a
athlete.
fucking blimp.
Yeah. Oh, is he? I haven't seen
Yeah.
him, but he's on there against someone I never heard of. And there's one, it's someone else. Guys, this is another reason we keep talking about the impending downfall, crumbling of Premier Boxing Champions. $79.99
Come on, guys.
on Amazon or via your like me and you have Comcast Xfinity B. We could get it through there or Amazon. With Turki Al Sheikh putting on these massive cards for 20 clams, 30 clams. This is just not a sustainable business plan. The next thing after this will be Tank, which will be a pay-per-view
Tank Roach
against a guy that's an 18-1 dog, and that's pay-per-view. That's unheard of for our younger listeners. That's unheard of to our listeners that are from B and I's generation, for an 18-1 dog to be pay-per-view outside of a prime Mike Tyson. That was was a fucking outlier, guys. So don't write in and say, no, Tyson did that. Okay. Fair enough. But other cards were not like that. There's a very nice Saturday night HBO or Showtime made event, a very nice one. $79.99. I'm telling you guys right now, these numbers are gonna bomb. This isn't gonna.
They're not doing Benavidez any favors.
This is not going to do 100,000 buys. Okay.
Fucking bullshit.
B, lock that into your puny brain.
My puny.
This is not going to do 100,000, 100K buys. The target date for Sebastian Fundora, Errol Spence 154 title bout is March 29th to headline a PBC on Prime pay-per-view at MGM Grand in Vegas. The deal isn't 100% done yet, but if it gets done, that's the plan as of right now. So that's looking good from what I hear from my sources. That's about to be signed.
I still don't understand how he gets elevated to that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
This is the if you
more power to him. Look, let's see what he's got here. But
if you were to pick, when we say, hey, guys, not everything's a robbery. If you want us to show you a robbery, watch blank.
Yeah.
Let's say we were explaining the corruption of this sport and inside of it. This might be it.
Yeah, I mean, this is fucking insane.
That got dog walked.
Over a year and a half ago.
Over a year and a half ago.
In 2023.
At a lower weight, and has never fought at this weight, and has been slurring, looking out of shape. Do I need to pile on here?
He's getting a title shot.
To Fundora, who won a belt because someone's head split open in half, and went life and death with my guy, Edison Miranda.
Oh.
When they were knocking each other down.
With Edison Miranda?
No.
Who's
my guy that I said I thought he was going to be great?
Erickson Lubin.
Edison Miranda.
Yeah.
Has been retired for how long? The
Colombian. Yeah.
Erickson
and then lost. And then Fundora lost. He got clipped.
Yes.
Then came back.
Yes.
Took this Zoo fight on short notice. Hey, man, no one questions Fundora's heart. We love him.
No, he's a good fighter, too. But, guys, this being for a 154 title
is crazy.
Is fucking crazy. My apologies about Edison Miranda and Erickson Lubin. I don't know why Edison Miranda was on my mind for some reason. That guy fucking hit like a mule. I'll tell you that much.
Pantera.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so listen. I'm sorry to the younger listeners out there. It's probably weird. You're like, wait, hang on. I tuned into boxing a year ago. I heard about this Errol Spence. Never
Yep.
seen him fight.
Yep.
I know this guy Crawford beat him.
Yep.
Why is he getting a title shot? We don't know. Can't answer that. All we got to say is the right people in power and favors have to be doled out. That's the only
And
thing I can think of.
if we keep it a rack like we always do on this show. Oh, I heard of Bud. Oh, I heard of this guy Errol Spence. Between two of them, they fought once in 18 months.
Between
Between both of them.
Bud
Yes.
and Errol Spence.
Bud and Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Two guys who were the best at 47,
Right.
who unified at 47. Since that fight, between both of them, they fought once.
Once.
So if you want to know the insanity of this, a super lightweight contest between Oscar Duarte and Rougarou is being targeted to headline a Golden Boy DAZN show on February 15th in Anaheim.
Duarte beats him.
Yeah, he does. I'll take that fight, but Duarte beats him because I've seen maybe 3 shitty performances in a row from Rougarou.
Yeah.
If we're counting Danielito,
He's cooked.
Zorilla, right? Is that who he fought? Danielito Zorilla. Then Devin, how did it play out? Then Catterall? How did that play out? Devin lost, then Danielito Zorilla, then Catterall, I think.
Yeah. All right.
It's a loss, a shitty win, and then a loss to Catterall.
Yeah, it was. Hold on. He fought. The fuck is the name of the guy? God damn it.
I think I'm right.
Yeah, it was a splitter to Danielito Zorilla. You're right. Then I thought there was one in between Devin Haney, but there wasn't. He got the last round knockout against Jose Zepeda, and before that, yeah, he had like a Tyrone McKenna.
Yeah,
dude. I don't need to see that.
I really like Regis. If it's a bit of a payday and he's a gatekeeper and that's what he wants to do, I mean, he 10 toes down said, I'm done after the Catterall fight. And you and I, it's like, bro, right before we got on air, Fury just announced his retirement.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make this short but sweet. I'm retired.
I'm retired.
Yeah, it's been great to me. Da, 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 da. And then he said this weird thing that I don't know what it means.
I looked it up. It was a guy, a guy who did a robbery with a mask on.
Okay.
I don't know what the significance of that is.
Okay. So something we were very big on, which is very odd for us to be obsessing over this, but I want to do it for me and you and for all of our listeners in the UK, which there are a lot of. So guys, this is for you. It's also selfishly for me and Brendan. Frank Warren on Ben Whitaker, Liam Cameron rematch talks. Instead of negotiating or discussing our offer or the fight terms, we received communication back saying that Ben's next fight will take place on a boxer show. That's Ben Shalom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if their offer was not accepted, they will move on. Liam and Queensberry are ready and willing to thrash out a deal and have no issue making this fight on any platform. We hope Boxer are as well, and we look forward to a positive and professional reply. Then, Liam Cameron has now said that the offer made to him by Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions for the Ben Whitaker rematch is 50% more than the offer made by Ben Shalom's Boxer. He's also offered Ben Whitaker a huge offer. Also, he's shown me all the emails, unlike others. Lastly, this is updated. Liam Cameron has said that he will not be commenting further on a potential Ben Whitaker rematch at this point after he received a letter before action on Friday from boxer lawyers regarding his comments. Guys, I'll translate that for you. Liam Cameron's really not in we like the kid on this show,
yeah,
but he's not in a position to be talking a whole bunch of shit.
Nah.
Bro, you want this fight? Shut the
fuck up, man.
And hope that they, so that Liam, we love you on here. You're a tough kid. We thought you would
let it develop.
We want to see you fly this kid's knot, but let it happen, man. I get it. You're passionate and you want that fight because you know in your heart you can beat him. You were in there with it. Bro, please shut the fuck up. B's guy, certainly not mine. Moses Italma has named 4 potential opponents he would like to share the ring with in 2025. Justice Hooney is a kid that's 12-0, young kid from Australia. I don't know anything about him other than he's undefeated. Kubrat Pulev, who's 903 years old and just fought. Who did he just beat when we laughed about it? Who was also 903? They just fought, and we said, "Should we?"
Yeah, he fought. Manuel Char, who goes by.
Right, he changed his name.
Yeah.
Philip Hergovich and Otto Wallin. Should Otto Wallin beat Derek Chisora, who always pulls out some kind of weird win like once every 5
Derek
fights.
Chisora was at the ring thing. Did you see what he looked like?
I saw everyone at some point. He's a wild dude. I like Chisora for entertainment.
Yeah, he's a wild boy.
Brendan, I know nothing about Justice Hooney. I think an old Kubrat Pulev can beat Moses Italma. I think Philip Hergovich dog walks him, and I think Otto Wallin could beat him. So I want some hate for Vinnie mail with this Moses Italma, because you guys are really fucking seeing something that's not there. He's got poor form. I can pick him apart now, but we have a lot of news.
Guys, write us at keotbboxing@gmail.com.
Yeah, and tell me
and put it in the subject line, Vinnie hate. VINNIE.
Hate seems like a very
no, I like it. I want hate. I want hate mail.
I don't think it's very nice.
You brought it up.
I brought up that. What are you guys saying that I'm not? The February 15th Catterall Arnold Barboza Jr. fight in Manchester will now be for the WBA interim championship, which, guys, B and I can't fucking decide every other episode if belts matter or not. For guys like this, they absolutely do. When you are of a certain ilk, they don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what belt Bud Crawford has or doesn't have or gets stripped of, or he won't do that. You know what I mean? But if you are Jack Catterall or Arnold Barboza Jr., neither are names, and that's a bargaining.
You see what they were beefing about?
I honestly
Who's walking out first?
Yeah, I mean, man, I ain't really having that when you like, look, man, y'all not built like that in this sport.
Who cares?
Like, if I was Barboza, I might just be like, bro, this is where you're part of the world. I'll go out first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really, if I'm gonna whoop your ass and I believe that, bro.
That's what I would do.
Real old school shit. You say that to me and I'm cutting a promo. I'm saying, I'm flying your fucking knot, pussy. Right, I don't care when I come out.
Right. I'll go out first, second, third.
I'm talking like Hagler.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a prime.
Put me in that shit.
You know, people couldn't understand.
No one gives a fuck.
Yo, check it, my man. I'm gonna fly your fucking head in the second round. I don't care if I come out fourth.
That's what I'm saying.
To come out.
Let the fucking
When the fucking bell goes ding ding, I don't give a fuck anymore. You're getting dog walked.
To me, that shit's wild. To me, I wouldn't give a fuck. Personally, I'd rather go out first. Bring me out first.
Look, some of these pundits, most of the ones that you and I don't like, are very. This is head games. Let me tell you something, man. Real guys cut from a Marvin Hagler cloth. It ain't no fucking head game.
Yeah, you know what the ultimate head game is?
Not giving a fuck. Being like Hagler.
Right.
Being like Hagler.
War
on you, and being a fucking stone cold killer. Theatrics of.
I couldn't believe they were beefing over that shit. Like, if I'm the manager of one of them guys,
yeah,
I'm yanking them both to the side and going, yo.
No, B. Those managers are the jerk offs fueling.
I'm saying if I'm the manager.
God forbid if you were the manager. Fucking die in the first fight.
I'd be like Bobby the Brain.
All of your stable will get Dooku Kimmed.
What?
Your whole stable.
Why are you saying that?
Yeah, you're very irresponsible with your matchmaking.
My guys are being tough. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You're part of the problem then if you say that.
That's not true. All right. So look, this guy gets another fucking shot, even though this Teo didn't want it. The IBF have ordered a final eliminator at super lightweight between Subriel Matias and Mexico's Gabriel Valenzuela. Winner will become the mandatory to Richardson Hitchens. So he doesn't get Teo, but they're mandatory for Hitchens. So, all right, I'm okay with that. Subriel has really fallen
out of favor.
Out of favor with the KEOTB boys.
He better work his way back in.
Better work his way back up and do this guy dirty. If he does Gabriel Valenzuela dirty, I'm not saying he's back where he was, but we'll give him, you know.
Give him another shot. All right. I mean, so that's what are your thoughts on Fury retiring? How long do you think it'll last? He's got like a broner amount of kids.
I think I don't think it lasts long enough until next episode.
He's a fighting man.
There will be an announcement for Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, 2025 at Wembley, sooner than later. So we're in January.
Yeah, do you think he just like heard the numbers being thrown around since they both lost, and he's like, "Well, this was supposed to be $100 million a piece fight, and now it's not"?
Do you remember? I'm answering, but do you remember there was a specific episode? You've said it multiple times, but there was one where you were just like, "Yo, Vin, I just fucking had it with this guy, man. The antics are enough. If you know, inside the ring, it's fun. I'm in, but other than that, I'm just fucking fed up with this guy."
That's where you're at.
This is yeah. I don't mean
he's a fucking dick.
I don't mean I won't watch it. I don't mean we won't cover it. But I'm not like doing this. I honestly didn't put it in the news. It wasn't a news bit. I just happened to watch him actually say it.
Yeah.
And to me, that weird thing he said at the end is, you always dig around for stuff like that. And I'm like, Brendan's going to know.
Like a fucking,
guys,
like
if
a
you don't know
Easter
what I'm
egg.
talking about, he's like, I'm retired from fighting, guys. Boxing been great to me, and I'll see you around. And then was like, Googleplex of John Worthington with the stabbing, and like hit stop. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And I have no idea what it is, but B seems to think it's related to a guy that either did or didn't commit a crime, or is innocent or isn't innocent.
Dick Turpin. So he says Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side. Now, it's like, see you on the other side is like when you die. You know what I mean? Like, see you on the other side.
Yeah, is that some sort of cry for help? If it is, I'm not going to make jokes about that, because he's had history with mental illness and drug abuse. He looked good to me. You know what I'm saying? What
Tyson Fury's cryptic reference to Dick Turpin means. Let me see.
It's just very odd, guys. If you didn't see it, just find it on Twitter. It's just odd. It's, you know, like, if you're interested in weirdo shit.
Dick Turpin is a historic figure. He's a highwayman in England. I'm sure our British fans know who he is.
They'll let us know. Yeah,
he was a poacher, a burglar, a horse thief, and a killer.
Yeah, they're gonna tell us. They're not just gonna tell us about him. They're gonna know exactly what this was in reference to, because our UK guys are great. Everyone from the UK that writes in, from Ireland,
he was hanged,
Scottish, something, you know, whatever he's trying to say. So B, we didn't talk about this on the air, and you told me I'm cutting a fucking promo, and I'm a little bit mad at you for that, because you stopped me from cutting a promo, and now you're cutting one. It's like, I was like, yo, I'm cutting this fucking brilliant fucking like Terry Funk.
On who?
This Terry Funk Jerry Lawler promo, and you're like, no, don't do it. And then 3 months later, you cut the promo. Confirmed. Naoya Inoue will now defend his undisputed super bantamweight championship against South Korea's Yi Jun Kim on January 24th in
What's
Tokyo.
His moniker?
Who?
Yi Jun Kim. It's Packy Weather.
Yes.
His nickname.
Yeah, when you wrote that to me, I was like, this B is fucking with me. And then I looked it up, and it is. It's in Tokyo following Sam Goodman's second withdrawal from the fight. Guys, real quick, I'm going to shut up. I'm hopped up on coffee. I've been talking over B this whole time. I'm going to say something and then let B cut his promo. I said this is the first time this fucking Sam Goodman fucking cut himself. It's way too fucking clean. And why is he sparring this fucking close to that flight leaving for Japan? And this B gives me a fucking lecture because he thinks I'm too reckless on this show and that I'm getting the boxing community to hate us. When in reality, people that don't say it love us, but they can't say the shit we do because we don't have jobs to lose. You know what I'm saying?
But we also aren't getting hired. So
no, we're not getting hired because of most of the shit I say, but you can edit me out. That's the thing. If you want to write down, yo, at 121,
I can't silence you. So listen, Sam Goodman.
So guys, I think this motherfucker cut himself the first time. I fucking firmly believe it. I stand 10 toes down. B texted me this week and said, I'm cutting a promo. Now I'm shutting up. Thank you.
You happen to be rolling camera, sparring with a cut, with headgear on. And you're rolling camera at the exact moment that the cut rehappens. You lift the headgear up as proof to us. This shit stinks. It smells bad. It's fishy. If you didn't want the fight, don't take the fight. Excuse yourself from the fucking rankings. It's a waste of everybody's time, money, card, promoter, etc. If you're afraid, be afraid. If you're scared, say you scared. I'm not a fighter, right? You motherfuckers do some shit that I don't do. But I am going to talk to you. If you're scared, say you scared. That's it. This is as obvious a case of someone injuring themselves on purpose to get out of a fight.
Bingo.
That I've ever seen. Why are you rolling? First of all, fine. You want to roll footage to what? Review tape, but then you release it to social media we could, if you have a cut, we could see it. Is it because so many people doubted you like Vinny did the first time that now you have to prove it? To me, you just proved you're a fucking asshole. If you were cut around Christmas time, which was 2.5 weeks ago, why are you sparring at all? Wait till the 24th, take your fucking ass whooping, and call it a fucking day. Again,
AB, I know I said I wouldn't jump in, but you and I both talked about something. If you remember, we were both like, "The fuck you mean a month? This motherfucker's not going to be ready." But we smelled this shit. Right. Forget the fact that I said I don't like the smell of this, but we were like, "Get the fuck out of here! That's not going to heal. You're not going to be ready."
Yeah, this shit is bad news.
I'm telling you what happened.
Honestly, I'm gonna. This is. Besides what we're doing next, right after this, right? Because I think we're just going to go into something more positive.
Yeah, sure.
All right. The name of this show, and it might not show up on the little blurb, but it should be, if you scared, say you scared. That's the name of this fucking show this week. If you scared, say you scared, because you just wasted everybody's time, everybody's money, and now we have to see Inoue beat up a guy who goes by Packy Weather.
Packy Weather. Can I say a little addendum, B? And this is I get wrapped up in conspiracies. Okay.
No.
I like that. Stop.
Not you.
Sam Goodman is 26 years old. Okay. We know there's huge fights for Inoue, no matter what, anyway. Right. This is what I'm going to tell you. And I don't even think it's I don't think it's that much a conspiratory theory.
Mm-hmm.
26 is young, okay? Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to get steamrolled, right? He knows that Inoue is going to go up eventually to 26, and all of these belts are going to be abandoned and opened
and fractured,
and that he can fight for one of them without getting dog walked by
because if he loses
1A, 1B, 1C fighter,
you go to the back of the line.
To the fucking line of guys. We say this a lot. Just because you don't know these divisions, don't mean they aren't stacked. And going to the back of the line takes a long time.
And look, I think maybe 2 years ago, we broke it down and why this stuff matters, because when you lose, it takes about 18 months to 2 years to get
Yep.
back to
Yep.
Those are the amount of fights you have to get in.
And that's if you stay active.
That's if you stay active. So 26 quickly becomes 28.
If you're not, if you're not Errol Spence, and hey, even though we're making fun of that fight, the fact of the matter is he's going to be out close to 2 years when it does happen.
Right.
So
and he's probably being rewarded for how much money he made the WBC for.
Sure, yeah. Even though he's being gifted that fight.
Right. Because look, let's be honest, that division was on his back for a while.
It was.
So
it was.
And he fought Danny. He fought Sean Porter. He fought Bud.
He fought everyone but Bud when they couldn't make the Bud fight. He fought everyone else there was for him to fight.
And wanted to fight Pacquiao, and Pacquiao got hurt. Or he got the detached retina, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's when Ugas stepped in.
Right. And then he fought Ugas.
Yeah.
And ruined Ugas' career. He did.
Yeah.
Whooped Ugas' ass.
All right, look, 2 quick things. This Tyson Fury weird message came less than 36 hours from what I'm about to tell you, okay? Anthony Joshua on a potential fight with Tyson Fury. It has to happen this year, especially with Turkey, DAZN, Eddie, Matchroom, 258 behind me, and him being managed by Spencer and Gold Star. I think we can definitely make this fight happen. Is this fucking gamesmanship that not fucking 2 days, 36 hours later, this happened on Saturday night, right? In the UK. By Monday morning, Fury's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to me, you and I keep going back to this because we don't fucking respect it. But like you said, is he hearing numbers since they're both coming off a loss? Is this gamesmanship towards AJ? He's so weird. Does he want AJ to chase him?
One of my buddies pointed out today that he's such an attention whore. That like there's probably not enough chatter about him. So it's like, let me just do something as a publicity stunt so that I'm now the headline.
I mean, since Usyk won and won clean, and just it happened to be at the end of the year, this guy's getting every possible accolade. It looks like he fucking swept the Oscars for The Godfather. Wherever he goes, it's everyone he's talking about. He's leapfrogging people for #1 in pound for pounds when I can't even remember the last time a heavyweight was #1 pound for pound. And I'm being honest when I say that. I can't remember because I never had either of the Klitschko's. I never had Lennox. We didn't live through Ali, certainly at one point we were born, but it was at the end of his career.
Was Roy after John Ruiz #1 pound for pound? Had to be, right?
I would think so. I would think so. He fought one heavyweight, so that's
right.
Yes, there's a catch there. But yeah, B, I find it odd that 36 hours after AJ, seemingly to us a classy guy, even though he had one meltdown or two, but he's under a lot of pressure. Guys, again, we ask you a lot. B wants you to write hate towards me about Moses Ikama. Guys, please write in and tell us what you think this is going on here.
This is a nice
because you guys know a lot of stuff over there just from like word on the street type shit.
And I also want to hear from the American fans about what you guys think about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Is this something that like wets your whistle in terms of paying attention to, or are you doing sort of what me and Vinny are doing and sort of dismissing them, or like my buddy Jesse wrote me today. He was like, this guy he can't stand it if he's not the headline.
But what I meant, B, when I said with Usyk, it's like it's compounding it.
Oh no, bro! I'm fucking with you, kid. And he's
fighter of the year.
That should be me.
Okay, so you know who Usyk beat to become fighter of the year? Fury twice. So this guy is,
and these are all the accolades Fury got for beating Wilder. So, bro, that's
and Klitschko. And
the world goes and the wheel keeps turning, and the wheel keeps turning.
All round and round.
Let's move on.
No, we got one more.
We got one more. We got one more.
One more last one, and I saved it for last because I love riling you up before we talk about certain stuff. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. are reportedly finalizing a deal for their long-awaited second-generation super fight. to take place on April 26th in London. The bout would be contested at the middleweight limit with a 10-pound rehydration clause. So another fight, guys. Write us
Let me tell you something. I don't care.
I get the so I don't care. Guys, tell us, we've asked you before, do people care over there? The messages were 50-50. I do believe it's going to happen now that he's cleared up the drug stuff.
Did you see him and Ryan Garcia get into it?
Yes, I did. And I thought he would what's that called when you're way bigger than someone?
Tower over them.
Tower over him. And Ryan look the same size. Right. They're both unlikable guys, acting like unlikable guys, and acting very soft. I've never one day been in the streets did you hear you do it? You do it. Yeah, you do it. Yeah, you do it. So the great thing they were saying, B, not you do it.
I don't know. That was some I know you are, but what am I shit?
Yes, you started. No, you started. And I'm like, y'all are caught. I don't know what was more cringe, them or Devin and
his
Bill
daddy
waiting outside for Ryan to go to the car to essentially what? Just
do nothing. You're suing him. So go ahead, blow up your lawsuit. It's on video, moron, that you're taking and posting.
But what was your intent? To look like goons? You look like pussies.
And Devin, this poor kid, like you just see like the fucking, like he's just standing there like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
Bro, he looks like the child of dance moms on those shows.
That's my son.
Is for my mommy
that's my point.
I want my mommy to stop making me go to this dance thing.
You look at Devin like, man, I'm all for the boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like he challenges. You and I've talked about it. In this generation, a young kid, he's fought great competition. Yep. We don't always think he's won.
Yep.
Taking on challenges, and his dad is putting him up to stuff he doesn't want to do, and you just see it. And to me, that shit is painful to watch. I say what you will about Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see anybody, you and I talk about this privately, like, that sort of deep-rooted like abuse, and what it does to people and how it affects people.
And I don't think that it's called abuse as often as it should be. Like Oscar was abused, bro.
Abused.
He was absolutely
100. You and I also talk about this. Oftentimes, and not just you and I. Okay, more sophisticated and prestigious pundits than us talk about.
Than us, yeah. Which is everyone.
That athletes get into this arrested development because they only do one thing their whole life. So they don't actually become an adult. They playing a kid's game here.
Yeah, man.
This is kid shit. And you're doing it as in your mid-20s, all through your 20s, your 30s. A lot of these times guys into their 40s.
Sure.
Before they settle down and become like, I just, as much as we don't like, or I don't want to speak for you, as much as I find Teofimo Lopez grating, I find him a bigoted, I find him unlikable. When that interview and his dad walked in while Kriegel was talking to him and Kriegel gave his dad the business, like, we're working here.
Yeah.
I immediately went, this is why this kid is like, he's just parroting what's like he's a marionette, for his father. And a lot of times people don't know how to like chop that off and cut that off and put that away.
Yeah, it becomes tricky.
As the kid, and I feel like
it's very hard to navigate.
Watching the Haneys move. First of all, I just want to say the great Tommy Raynone made a great prediction today.
Okay.
He said, either Haney, Ben, or Ryan Garcia, the way these dudes are in the media and how they act, he's like, a civilian is going to knock one of them off. They're going to be at one of these press conferences yapping, and someone for clout is going to.
I'm going to add Adrian Broner, even though he's not active.
Yeah.
I've seen him, and he
right.
and
someone is going to assault one of them.
I agree, by the way.
And clip one of, not necessarily, not like death. I'm not talking about like shoot them. I'm saying like someone for clout or for clicks is going to punch one of them in the mouth.
I mean, it like something that shouldn't have happened already happened to Devin at that what's it called, carnival type thing.
Where talk about never been in the streets, never done nothing. Like he didn't even know how to
Nothing.
jump somebody.
No,
Like
bro.
he didn't even know
When shit started getting live between Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia, it's almost like they whispered in each other's ear, "We should stop because we don't know how to do this."
right.
Because it was that cringe. It's like none of y'all aren't
Well, like
live.
yo, Haney didn't even know how to steal on somebody.
No, bro, and it's on film. Like,
It's
yo,
on film, and the dude was like, "You ain't really about it like that."
no, because you're a pro boxer doesn't always mean you can mix in the streets,
Right.
and then the other way around too.
Yeah,
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Facts. I mean, I'm not saying the street. If they shot the fair one, I'm sure Devin Haney whooped the kid's
Oh
ass.
no.
Yeah.
A shooting the five. I'm just saying you're not. You can get caught out there as a fighter. Bro.
Yeah.
I'll hit you in the
Yeah.
fucking head with a brick. You think I'm
Right.
squaring up with fucking? You
Exactly.
think I'm squaring up with a guy like Beterbiev, bro, on a fair one?
Nah, I'm
Let's
hitting
get out of here.
Beterbiev. I'm hitting Beterbiev with a truck, and
Yes.
I'm taking the plates off so he doesn't trace me back to. But he's like Wolverine. He'd probably run after the truck and
Yeah,
catch it.
like T2.
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
I don't need all that. I don't need that in my life.
No, neither do I. Real quick, this weekend wasn't a big fight.
Oh,
So here's something that I talked to B about this weekend. So when we're looking at the boxing schedule and some stuff in the UK is played on Sky Sports, but not here.
yeah. Explain that to explain
Yes,
that
over
to
the
people.
past few months, as I've been looking at this, it'll say Sky Sports and then a slash, and it'll say Peacock. And I have the Peacock app and I watch some stuff on there. And I've never seen boxing. So I never even mentioned it to be. And I'm like, oh, this must be like either another company called Peacock, or maybe it's Canadian, or maybe they bought someone out and cut a deal in the UK. So I never thought twice about it. Whatever made me do this, I saw that it was on Sky Sports and Peacock. And I fucking went into the Peacock app and searched and I fucking found it. And it's the Sky Sports feed is now being aired on Peacock. So moving forward, guys, we're going to be telling you a lot. There's a lot already on the ledger.
Right.
So a kid named Callum Simpson, who's 15-0 with 10 KOs, fought a guy named Steed Woodall, 19-2, 12 KOs. They're fighting at 168. It was for the British Commonwealth WBA Continental title. As we've spoken about on this show, in the UK, those British titles are very important to those guys. And I get why. It's kind of like how the NABF was here. It meant that if you got that, you were going to get a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen Callum Smith. I didn't know much about him. He lost his 19-year-old sister recently, bro, in an accident when she was on vacation. The family's incredibly close. His father and sister and brothers are just amazing people. They did a story on the sister and how it affected them. Just heavy stuff. They go back to the broadcast team, which Johnny Nelson is on, the great Johnny Nelson, British bruiserweight. B, he couldn't keep it together. He started talking and walked off the set because he was so broken up by a story that wasn't even his. This was in Sheffield. The atmosphere was insane. Callum Smith is a tall, long, rangy guy.
Callum Simpson.
Callum Simpson. Who did I say? Smith? Yeah, that's another fighter. Callum Simpson, look, fights by his jab, uses range, good punch selection, jabs, right hand behind it, nice left hook, goes downstairs. He drops Woodall with a big uppercut, left hook, right hand in the second. He was hurt, Woodall. He was hurt, but he beat the count. He gets his wits about him, and he's throwing back, B. I don't know if you saw it or you watched the clip or anything. And so now they're exchanging. It's the second he gets up, the kid got his. In the middle of exchange, Callum Smith lands a few shots, nothing weird.
Simpson.
Who do I keep saying?
It's Callum Smith.
Callum Simpson. I can't contain myself. It's the coffee. Callum Simpson lands a couple nice shots, nothing crazy. The ref just casually leans in and stopped it, so much to the point that when someone leans in to talk, say, your mouthpiece fell out. Or, yo, keep him up. He did one of those stoppages. So I go,
the classic British stoppage?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, the mouthpiece fell out. The guy's...
You mean thought he was stopping the action?
Yes, I thought there was a break in
to
the
break in
action.
action.
And as I'm still thinking it, and the kid takes a step back, he waves it off.
Mm.
So I think he's giving him a warning or something. Maybe he went to the ding dong and I didn't see it. So he fucking waves it off. So awful stoppage. I just wanted to make a quick point about this. Then we'll go on to our pound for pound.
Yeah, we got to keep this moving.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. When a referee stops a fight prematurely, you obviously feel for the guy that got stopped, right? That's where your mind goes. But I want to say, before we move on, you're also robbing Callum Simpson of a bit of glory because all the attention goes to the poor stoppage. And he was
really good
busting
point.
this guy up. And if he didn't stop it, then he was going to stop him. And it doesn't change how it looks on the record. Now the kid's 16-0 with 11 KOs. I don't know where. I'd like for you to watch this because it only goes 2 rounds.
Yeah, I'll go check it out.
It'll take you 10 minutes. I don't really know if he can do anything on the international scale.
Yeah, I
but
got
a
you.
more likable kid and family you could not meet, with sweet people with a devastating story. The backstory's there. They want to try to grab. He said, "What do you want next?" They want to try to grab that, another one of those British belts. This guy competed 68 with Canelo, on his way out. Is it really deep there? Not really. You know what I mean? But I'd like for you to check out this Callum Simpson fight. It'll literally, because it went 2 rounds, it'll literally take you 10 minutes to speak about how wild the stoppage is and what do you think of him skills wise. It's very tough when you're looking at guys who are fighting other regional guys, who have never left there, and it's hard. So guys, there's some shakeups in our new updated knock 'em out the box pound for pound. We always, in everything we do, go from the bottom to the top. Would you say that? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, so this is it. This is the latest edition. We hit you guys with the knockies last week, right? So it's only fitting to jump into our, as promised, our current 2025, January of 2025. So mark this down. January of 2025.
We'll put the date on the.
This is the state of knock 'em out the boxes pound for pound right now. I'd
like to say that I had to fight my way in on this one a little bit.
A little bit. I think I want to say, in terms of this, that I'm grateful for my co-host here, because he's great at spotting talent, and one of his kids is on this list. So one of the guys Vinny raised up from a pup on this show. Yeah. Is on this list, and he got me watching them, and I hope he got you guys out there watching them. And now I've heard a lot of chatter across boxing circles about this guy, and I want to say my brother on this show and in life, Vinny Paz, found him for me at least. Maybe you guys have some astute eye, but an astute ear that I don't know about. But my guy found this guy. So Vin, you want to take it from here?
Okay, guys, I'm not happy about this, but we have rules. B and I both pretty much think Lomachenko is done. There hasn't been a peep from him. He's got the IBF belt. I'm sure they're on his heels to say, "Hey, my guy, you got to defend it or give it up." So Vasyl Lomachenko, on our last update was number 10. He is now off. Now entering his first time on the knock 'em out the box pound for pound list is Puerto Rico's own Oscar Collazo, El Pupilo, meaning the pupil. Look, guys, when I've spoken about him, I've told you might not know who he is because he's fighting at minimum weight. He's only got 11 pro fights. Standout amateur. Bilingual. He's fighting every good guy there and just if it's not a demo job, he's just looking. This is the best. Look, we have Bam, and it's a fucking honor to get to watch him. You know, at this small weight, at minimum weight B, I can't think the last guy. Finito Lopez. This is like who went what 50-0-1. Finito,
Buffalo Alvarez was the draw. Yeah,
right. So look, this kid is special. How special can a minimum weight be? In 2024, can they make a star at him being bilingual, being a good-looking kid?
Well, I mean, they used to put Newark, and then moved to Puerto Rico, right?
Correct.
Born in Newark,
So
moved to Puerto Rico,
he's
raised in
the
Puerto
island, and he's repping the East Coast. You could not have more of a hotbed of Latino fight fans than where he's from in Newark. It's in between Philly and New York. It's like the island will sell it out.
Right.
Yeah, he'll sell it out. But being minimum weight is tough. This kid's great. He's a great pound for pound fighter. He's special. I think he's going to do great things. My question to B, which I did not let him answer, is can you become I know the word star is sliding scale, right? B, can he be as big as Michael Carbajal?
My only issue is he's already 27. So they're gonna have to start putting him on a lot of cards with high profile fights, and really get to promoting here. That's God.
No. You're right. I think the answer to that B is a star taking a liking to him, similar to Golovkin, Chocolatito.
Yeah.
If you're not a maniac
and then
like
pair
us,
them on.
pair them. If you're
I was gonna say, remember Iron Boy was always on. Like he had like 6 or 7 fights on pretty big cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because someone up there liked him.
Right.
If you get a guy like I'm just throwing this out there, but just say like him and Canelo were buddies.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like someone like that who said, yo, this guy's always on my card. Or he trains with Tank. So Tank goes, yo, I always want him on my cards.
Right.
We need a guy like that, guys, to get the ball rolling. Like B said, he's 27. So he's got about 5 years. I'd like him to fight 2-3 times a year and just be great. At number 9, Saul Canelo Alvarez. We just aren't impressed with his recent run of fights and resume, but his overall resume and what he's done post Bivol loss still keeps him on here. We were ready to yank him, no Diddy, but we spoke about what his announcements might be. So we're giving a grace period, guys. But if he does do a fucking 180,
he's on thin ice.
He's on thin ice on this show. And if he does a 180 and does Bum of the Month Club, he's out, Jack.
And then on similar, the opposite of that, if he 180s the other way and totally redeems himself.
Yeah, he's bumping up back to maybe in the top 5, like he was for a very long time on this show.
Correct.
Number 8, B, would you like to?
Yeah.
Go one back and forth?
Yeah, Junto Nakatani.
What a fucking great fighter and a pleasure to watch. So
and
good.
He has a fight scheduled, correct? Junto? All right. So Junto's got a fight scheduled, and rumor has it by Christmas time 2025, it will be him and Inoue in a showdown. I think that's where we'll see a torch passed, personally.
B, sorry to cut you off. David Cuellar Contreras next on Monday, February 24th. So about 5 weeks from now.
Okay.
And they want to build this, guys, this year. I believe, I don't just believe B is correct. We think at the end of the year. So I think Junto and Inoue both fight very soon, next few weeks. And I think they both fight one more time.
Okay.
I think they fight around summer.
I can't find anything to disagree with that. I like that.
Summer-ish, both. Maybe not against real tough, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you got to build it. And this is one of those fights you got to build. And those got to be, both of these guys' fights got to be aired here, which they are. But the 4 and the 5 o'clock in the morning thing, if I'm them,
I'm saying
I seriously contemplate doing the Brilliant Australia thing, which is let's throw it here on Sunday afternoon and it airs.
Yeah.
I'd rather throw it a
Prime,
weird time
like,
in
yeah,
Japan,
at night,
a
where it
weird
can air
time
at
in
night in
Japan.
the U.S.
Yes, that's my opinion, guys. I took the first two. It's only natural my partner gets the next two, and then
Okay.
we'll go back and forth. There
Up
you
next,
go.
you'll see him featured on February 22nd's Riyadh season on the
Yes,
I don't want to say it's an undercard. I guess we just have a bunch of co-features on
we
that,
just have a
which
ton
is
of
what,
great
like,
co-features.
they're calling like a 7v7, right?
Yep.
Um, and it's Shakur Stevenson. We have him at uh, what is that? 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's our 7th ranked pound for pound fighter. Shakur suffered an injury. He will defend. Does he have anything? He has a belt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he'll be
Yes.
fighting Floyd Schofield, which we expect him to win. But at this level, I think that this is great that Shakur is both giving Schofield a shot and taking a risk against a young guy who's going to try to take his fucking face apart. Schofield
With
is
nothing to lose.
with nothing to lose.
Similar to what you said about Jared Anderson Bacoli. If you were Bacoli's manager, take that 3-5 mil.
Right.
You're a kid.
Right.
You're good,
Right.
you're skillful. Big question.
Right. Okay.
Are you more excited about this than Zapata?
No.
Okay, so you would
I
you
wanted
haven't.
to I wanted to see the division sorted.
Yeah, I still do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever happens, happens.
And I want Shakur to fight the best because I believe he is the best.
I think Shook. I don't look. I'm making sure I say I think because this stuff is opinion. Your job is to get in there and get the W. I now think Shakur, if he's going to stay where we keep him and move up and crack top 5, has to start putting on sweet pea type displays,
Yeah.
meaning sweet performances. I don't mean like, oh, he's a defensive. I mean, either beat the dog shit out of Schofield or 12-0 him, or
Yeah.
yo, you don't belong
Embarrass
in
him.
the ring with me the
Right.
way Sweet Pea was doing. That's where I'm at with Shakur. The stinking it, the kid who was running, who we thought might be a fight because he's typically a come forward guy that he fought in Newark and he just
Yeah.
stunk the joint out. We came on the air and said Shakur should have put his fucking foot on the gas. That's up to
Right.
him to do it. He's good enough. We think he's the fucking best. We both think it. We both say it. We have no problem saying it. But guys, you have to prove it. B and I can say it as
Right.
many times we want. We look. I don't know if we've ever said this flat out on the show. We say it to each other all the time. We believe Shakur is head and shoulders better than everyone at 135. I think he
Mhm.
has zero problem with Tank. Zero.
Zero.
I think he has zero.
By the way, I have no issue with how Shakur fought Artem Hartunian.
Neither do I. Neither
And
do
a
I.
lot of people
Talking
remember
about that.
yeah, no, I know. Remember though, we were like,
You and I were agitated by
yeah,
we thought
he's
he did
this
really well. He beat him up. He busted him up.
right. What are you talking about? He stood in the pocket and whooped this
He
guy's
whipped
ass.
his ass.
And Hartunian is criminally underrated too.
He's
So
very good, guys.
yeah,
Very good. B and I think he might have eked out Frank Martin fight. There
yeah,
was a knockdown that was wonky, maybe. B and I said I think we both scored either a draw or thought Artunia nicked it. You know what I
right.
mean? Against a capable guy. Guys, next we have Dimitri Bivol. Look, you guys know how good he is. You saw what he did to Canelo. You
Right.
saw what he did against Beterbiev.
And Zurdo.
Yeah, it made Zordo look like a
Right.
fucking amateur against Bivol, who everyone has been scared of, who he completely mowed down and walked through. This sick maniac stood there,
Yeah.
fought brilliantly. It's just very few fights, B, do you go, look, these are evenly matched dudes. This was close, and both of them fought brilliantly, but there's
Right.
got to be a winner. Of course, there could be a draw, guys. We know that.
Right.
But there
And,
was a winner. I do think Bivol,
better be a.
lost by a point or two. I forget now.
I think Bivol lost by a point or two as well, and I've been called out by ex-fighters turned pundits that if I was a fighter, I would have a different and better opinion of such.
Look, they're not wrong. There's also other things, and I'm not implying I know who you're talking about because I've talked to guys too. There's also, you also go down two other rabbit holes, B. You go down, what type of fighters were these guys we're talking to? When you throw bombs and when you're a guy that fought,
I'm with you.
you know what I'm saying? Because I know what you're getting at. When you're a guy that could fight off the back foot and go, bah, 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 and roll out of there, you
Right.
thought Beterbiev won. I mean, you
Bivol
thought
won.
Bivol won.
Correct.
When you're a guy that had sledgehammers and fight like Smoking Bird Cooper, you go,
Look,
hey, look.
Look, my and by the way, should we just mention who's right in front of Bivol on our list?
We should.
It's the guy we're talking about.
It's the guy we're talking about.
Right.
So if they were one, we were talking about the two best guys, they're 1A and 1B to us.
Right.
So they still remain 1A and 1B.
And they'll get it sorted in a little over a month.
In a few weeks, you know what I mean? And
so
and I can see the fight going the same way.
What I keep hanging on to is you can't stop fighting over the course of the last 6 rounds and expect to get a decision at the end of that.
No.
Sorry, and I'm not giving you a decision at the end of that.
No.
And, look.
And I'm not going to argue with who you're talking about. You know why? Because they got in that fucking ring. And the guys, the people I talked to about it, it was the same thing. I'm like, hey, I'm right. But you can always, it's like you can it's like the same way with me. Be like, so your man at the barbershop raps, right? And he's telling me X, Y, Z. And I'm like, well, I'm not like telling you can't say that, but this is my job. Exactly. So I'm always going to have that over you. It doesn't mean that I'm better. It just means I happen to do this for a living. So I'd like to think I got the edge. I'd like to think.
I would, yeah.
Then let's throw this out real quick before we get to our next guy. There's also ex-fighters that are pinheads who just happen to know what to do.
Or have a very strong bias just towards guys that they're friendly with or like. You know, and so
I'm just gonna defend what B's saying. The people he's talking about have really high IQs, so I'm not arguing. But I do know ex-fighters that
it was just a 90-minute discussion one day where I wasn't letting up.
I can see. I wouldn't, if I was with you, I wouldn't have let up either.
Yeah.
But I've said probably it's 113 shows. I probably said 50 times. I know a guy who fought for championships against Hall of Famers.
Who doesn't know boxing, right?
On any level. Someone took him to the gym and he took to it and was good enough to fight for championships, but can't talk it, doesn't know who you're talking about.
Just doesn't follow
that thing. Didn't we turn into a convo like when we were running the streets and we would know hood dudes who could rhyme and you'd mention Cool G Rap and they go, who's that? You're like, yo, this guy like just doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
They would mention like, we'll talk about that at a different time. Yeah. I don't want to embarrass this. I mean, I don't want to interrupt this now.
Who said the last name Beterbiev? You or me or both of us?
Both of us. You can take.
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Hey guys, these next 4 were a little bit. Me and B might have went 3 rounds. You know, winner picks this next 4 because these are all razor thin, guys. I don't know if B agrees with that, but they are for me. These are all razor thin.
This is very difficult for me to do this. I gotta say, pound for pound is more Vinny's lane than mine.
Our friend Correct and Brendan don't like doing this. I think mythical shit is fun.
It's fun.
Also, I've explained this before, guys. If you wonder where this came from, well, back in the day, years and years and years and years ago, when it was sort of understood that Sugar Ray Robinson was the best fighter in the world, he was outshone by heavyweights. So they created this list to say, hey, guys, everyone knows the heavyweights and they're the biggest stars in the world because everyone knew Jack.
And everyone knows they'll win in a real fight.
Right.
Because they're just so damn big.
Exactly. So it started getting put together. If everyone was the exact same weight, who would be the best? And an interesting thing is B and I live by no heavyweights on our top 10 pound for pound. And there are great boxing minds.
There's exceptions.
Historically that believed in that too. I will
Mm-hmm.
not put them on my list. It defeats the purpose. You know what I mean?
Can't cook it like that. It defeats its purpose.
Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm okay with this because at number 4, I'm okay with this because of the aforementioned one fight in 18 months over a very good Israel Madrimov for a belt at 54, going up, but just not the
Look,
activity.
guys, this sort of comes into my play of where how do you do pound for pound? Do you say I can take this guy, put him in any division, and he'll win, or do I take his current level of? Do I mix a current level of activity, skill set, where he's willing to go and what he's willing to do, and what we've seen lately? Does it make Terrence Crawford any worse than he was? No. Have there been 3 guys that have had a better 18 months than Terrence Crawford? Yes, and that's
Well said.
and that's sort of where I place it and how I do it. That hey man, that might not be someone else's criteria for pound, but that's mine. And this is out.
Tom
This
Terrific lights it up and throws for however many touchdowns and da
right,
da 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 da. But someone else gets to the Super Bowl and wins that.
right,
He might get the MVP and be looked at as the guy. But
right.
you're like, guys, it's Tom Terrific. You can't just get Jordan. Jordan should have just won the MVP every year.
Every year.
You know what I
Was
mean?
there a more valuable player than that guy?
Right, to his team. It's the same way. The
Right,
same way you broke that down is applicable to this.
right.
What did this guy do for his team? His team meaning his management, the sport
Mm-hmm.
itself. What did he contribute to the sport in these months since our last?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if a guy ran through 5 champions and one guy ran through 1, well, it says it's not Bud's fault. He probably would have wanted to have another fight. Probably would have wanted to have another mega fight. You know what I mean? He's sort of biding his time, and it looks like it's going to pay off. B, would you like to get to our number 3, who we said a few months back? I think it was November. This guy's cracking our top 5 pound for pound. We don't care who's it's cracking. We saw him in person.
In person, it's Jesse Bam Rodriguez. This kid he's a dynamo. He's only getting better each fight. Um, he's to me clear top 3 pound for pound.
Clear.
He was jockeying 2 divisions. I don't believe he's doing that anymore. I think he's just going to keep moving up now, right? Is he say he's going back down?
I mean, to me, B, I think it's like, yeah, his logic is stay where I'm at or go up. If you make a massive fight, I'll go down.
Right.
If I can make a massive payday at this weight, I'm willing to. But no, logic would
Does
dictate
tons of subtle stuff. Great
But
feet.
seeing that stuff from 10 feet away was so we were elbowing each other, B.
Yeah, like look how good he is.
Look at that. Look
Right.
what he got. Look when he just taps him on his arm. These things that are so that aren't even taught. Yo,
Right.
he just touched him in
He's
the arm.
he's figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
In the gym. It's working. He's applying it in fights. His boxing IQ is fabulous. His judgment of distance is unmatched. The angles he takes are Pacquiao-esque. So he's a lot of things rolled into one. I want to watch this kid he is must-see TV. He's a show stealer, entertaining style that's also technical, but also devastatingly brutal. He can box when he needs to. He can swarm when he needs to. He can punch when he needs to.
Whose favorite fighter is he, Mr. Long?
Our esteemed producer.
Correct. He just came. He did a run in with a wave.
He did a run in with a wave.
Cough.
So that's Jesse Bam Rodriguez. I expect if he stays on this trajectory, he will be our number 1 pound for pound fighter within 18 months.
Yeah. Big quick question. Same question for you with Jesse Bam Rodriguez as Collazo. Can you become a star? Do you consider a guy like Chocolatito a star?
In this community of fighters and pundits, yes. Household name.
I think he's a star now.
I personally think I don't get what the imagine that this day and age the prejudice against
the Titans.
Why they don't get a guy like Bam and really get behind him.
A push.
A
Like
push.
they say in wrestling, give him a push.
Right. I just don't understand why promoters, it seems.
Is there stuff we don't notice? You have a personality of a dead moth. He's a
No,
cool
I'm
kid.
not. I'm saying in general, the lighter guys, anything really lightweight and below.
No, I
You
got
know,
you. I got you. But I'm
we're
just saying,
like,
B.
I never thought that. I thought that like, and I mean, he was pretty fucking popular, but I thought like Nonito Donaire should have been selling me Fords. You know, like he's got a great personality, energetic, big smile, giant punch. I never understood it. So I feel the same way about Bam. They have an angle with him, like Bam he kind of reminds me of like a mall rat kid, kind of. He wears like the baggy sort of Jenko style
Yeah, like
jeans.
Raver jeans. He's
Yeah,
got the
like,
parted
yeah.
mid-90s white
He,
fade
yo,
hair.
100% looks like a raver from the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah.
He looks like the kid that hung out at skate spots but didn't really
Then he
skate.
puts the glasses on. He looks like it's like this baby-faced assassin.
Right.
So a couple fighters throughout history have had that name. You want to talk about a guy whose name should be the baby-faced assassin?
It's this guy, right?
He's mowing through
So,
human beings.
so number 3 is Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's a favorite of this show, and if you're not familiar or unfamiliar with him, and you've
He should be a
been the,
star. He should be on I don't know what is NBC, ABC, Fox, CBS called. They used to have, what is that type of television is that called?
terrestrial television, network television.
He should be on network
Yeah,
television.
network TV.
It's
Agreed.
never going to happen, but he should be. Next up is the monster, Naoya Inoue. Guys, you already know the time.
Yeah, I don't think we have to do much to explain here. Don't have
No.
to talk about the resume.
We
He's a career pound for pound guy now at this point.
I'll wrap it up for you, B, if you want me to. Guys are cutting themselves to avoid to get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
That's what you need to know about anyway. Um, if you know the time, then you should know who B is about to say is our number one pound for pound fighter, breaks every rule that this show stands for, every rule that this list stands for. Why? Because he's that good.
He's that good. And
Who is it? Who is it, Brendan?
I don't think we left it up for surprise, but it's Alexander Usyk. He's our fighter of the year. He was in the event of the year for our Naki Awards that we did last week, and he is our pound for pound champion. He's personally my personal favorite fighter in the last since I was a kid. To me, besides, well, I'll say this: his personality and humor match his pound for pound skill in the ring. This guy should be celebrated. I hope he's celebrated for years to come. I hope, Bozo takes like Tim Bradley's take, that he's not an all-time great.
What a pleasure to be watching this guy in his prime, to go through 2 divisions, to beat guys that are 4 to 6 inches taller than him, 60 pounds heavier than him, and he just does a number on them. Guys, I hope you understand that our strict rule of no heavyweights on here is heavily based in the fact that this guy went through a division before this.
Right. He had a career before this.
Yes, pack them all up.
If we're talking divisions, and that's where you pull, right, the competition against your peers.
Correct.
You pull, or that's where you gather the data to establish someone's greatness, right, or the definition of someone's career. He had a career before he went to heavyweight.
Correct.
He had a Hall of Fame career.
He was a first round Hall of Famer if he retires at heavyweight unified. I mean, cruiser unified. It's over first round.
Right.
And he goes, I'm a sick maniac. These guys got nothing for me. Let me see if guys 60 pounds heavier and 4 pounds taller than me got anything for me.
Right.
Because I think they don't. And I'm from a war-torn country, and I'm certainly not scared. So let's dance. And he did. And dance he did, both literally and figuratively.
And does.
Guys,
So
appreciate this guy. Appreciate how
yeah, because
funny he is, the sarcasm, the
right,
smile, the shit-eating grin, him embracing that his English is a little bit banged up and not being shy, whereas it's your tendency when you don't know a language to be more shy, who'll yuck it up with you and just butcher it and then crack up.
right.
He wants to give everybody a hug.
That to me, there's a level of humility with him that's endearing. He's a very endearing personality. His daughter gave him a stuffed animal before training camp, I believe, with before Fury 1, and he carried the stuffed animal everywhere with him.
Everywhere.
You know, there's a great video where he's just walking and someone calls his name and he turns and they hold up a little cat keychain because his moniker is the cat. And he goes,
Yeah.
"What is that?" And he goes, "Cat, thank you." And just keeps walking. Yeah. He goes, "Oh, a cat,
I
thank you."
just
And just keeps, it's
remember
just,
when Lamada's brother said, "Yeah, you're a sick maniac, Jack, and you need
yeah,
help." When he asked her if he's
yeah,
banging his wife,
yeah.
to me, you're a sick maniac if you dislike Alexander
Yeah. How
Usyk,
do you not like
and you
this
have
guy?
some hate in your heart that I can't explain.
He is the opposite of the brash and bravado and all this other stuff that like Fury sort of brought back to the heavyweight division,
Correct, correct.
which like you and I admitted 3 years ago was entertaining for a while.
Yeah, man. And if you're
And
selling a fight, we get
but
it. We're
this
not.
is much more to me endearing. It's it's much more it's I like likable personalities. I don't need the brash and abrasive.
I don't need a heel. I don't need a heel.
Right.
I probably the most brilliant one and the one I'm okay with when we look back historically was Floyd's heel turn because he needed it as his
Right.
hands got more brittle and he wasn't getting knockouts. So how do you really
Yeah.
do this?
If I almost wish
By
Floyd's
the way, I don't think
right.
Floyd's
I
a good
almost
human being. I
no,
mean,
I was just gonna say, how much greater would it have been if Floyd's personal life wasn't so tumultuous?
right. If he was a
And
great dude.
and we'd all be in on the wink.
Absolutely. Wink, wink. Right. I don't think he's good. But it's the same way, regardless of what he achieves or doesn't. I don't think Tank Davis is a good human being.
No,
So I don't know.
no. I mean, and look, no one's perfect, but
No,
these guys, for guys like Vinny and I who are removed, right? We're not in their circle.
we're not.
We don't see whatever good they do. We can only
We don't.
we can only judge what they get arrested for, um, and we pass our judgment that way. Usyk, for what we've seen, seems like a genuinely nice guy who's a fantastic fighter with an endearing personality. And if you don't like Usyk, there's something wrong with you.
Guys, he's a generational talent. And
But beyond that, he chopped a giant tree down 4 times.
correct.
Joshua twice, actually 5 times. Joshua twice, Dubois, Fury twice. You know what?
Dubois, who is now the IBF
Right.
champion and who flew AJ's head.
Correct. So our pound for pound king, Alexander Usyk, Alexander the Cat Usyk. He's also our fighter of the year. What a year he's had. And,
Hey B, did you see my tweet saying I don't think nobody at Heavy's got anything for him? I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him run it back with Dubois, beat him. I'd like to see Jay Apatai fight Zordo, which
and
looks
then
like
move
it's
up.
going to happen, and then him move up or Usyk move down if he doesn't want to make heavy.
I don't think Usyk's gonna move down. We said that. I've said that to you on the show. I said it privately.
It's historically been problematic.
I mean, and he'd have to move down 25 pounds.
Correct. I don't think Jay Apataya is going to have a problem going up to
I
say
now
215.
that 100% I agree with, and I heard rumblings and have read rumblings. It is hard for him. He doesn't kill himself to make cruiser, but he's got to cut weight to make cruiser. He's a big boy.
I think to me, in like say May-ish, you do Dubois Usyk rematch. And around the same time, do
Opatai.
Zordo Alpatai on the same card.
And I'll tell you right now, not to get off topic from our pound for pound.
Yeah.
The way Zerto's been fighting, that's not a foregone conclusion.
That's not a foregone conclusion.
And Zerto's talking wild, like I'm going to move to heavyweight.
It's a nice fight. It's a nice fight. I'd be interested. Hey, guys, we didn't cover it a lot because of what happened. Jay Apatow was getting caught with shots. It was a little bit of a barn burner
Second
until
round.
it wasn't. Until it wasn't.
So can I just piggyback on that for 1 second? Again,
please.
Not to get off of our pound for pound stuff, guys. This is like sort of the PS to the show.
Correct.
Which by the way, I just want to real quick read off one. Can I read off 1 through 10?
Yeah,
real quick?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So number 1, Alexander Usyk. Number 2, Naoya Inoue. Number 3, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Number 4, Terrence Bud Crawford. Number 5, Artur Beterbiev. 6, Dmitry Bivol. 7, Shakur Stevenson. 8, Junto Nakatani. 9, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And 10, Oscar Collazo. So that's 1 through 10, guys. We read it backwards because that's the way we do it.
I'll throw you a little surprise that way.
Boom, boom, boom. We were talking about, I think that it's not a foregone conclusion, Jai Opetaia and Zurdo Ramirez. I think that's
I don't think that's a he walks through him fight.
Bro, I think that could be that could be dicey, and we might get more than one of those.
Right. Yeah, which could right. Well, I wanted to say something. I always, probably to the point where our listeners are rolling their fucking eyes as I say this, but I always talk about Tyson Botha and maybe one of the prettiest right hands ever. It's a 6-inch punch on the button, and Botha is disconnected from reality. Tyson was getting beat the fuck up, and no one talks about that.
Bro, Botha made a career off of that performance, losing.
Absolutely. He got a bunch of fights because of it.
Right.
I'm telling you guys, Jay Apatow 8 shots in that fight against a regional guy, a late replacement.
Yeah, like 11-0 guy.
Yes, a late replacement.
Who had good wins.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not calling him a bum. I'm not saying he was getting clipped by a bum or a hobo. Or
I know.
I'm saying he can be hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. This isn't a guy.
And the thing about Zurdo is, guys, Zurdo used to fight at 68. Cruiserweight is a lumbering division for a guy coming up. So he is fleet of foot and nimble compared to these guys.
Yes.
So this is.
He looked like a sloth at 68 because he kind of was. He will.
Now he's a fucking punching machine at cruiserweight.
Yes,
he's comfortable.
Yes, and
how the fuck did he make 68?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. He's fucking huge at cruiser and is just discussing going to heavy.
Right.
You know, and so yeah, I guess things are starting to heat up, guys. Late January, February.
Yeah,
we'll get back into our fight modes, which is
fight mode and prediction.
Yeah, we have the most fun talking about reviewing and previewing fights.
So you guys got a little taste of our stupid conversations, which we turned into the Knockies a couple of years ago.
Sure.
This is what we do via text when we're not insulting one another.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on this Pound for Pound. Bill, we have no bets for Billy, this poor guy.
No, I'm trying to think of
I do. Can I read off AV Julian's Pound for Pound?
Yeah, because you said that you were going to, right? You said I'm saving that for next week.
Yeah.
While you're doing that,
he wrote it on Christmas, by the way.
Okay.
This AV Julian is dedicated. Okay, so his goes a little something like this. Number 1, Naoya Inoue. Number 2, Alexander Usyk. Number 3, Jesse Rodriguez. Number 4, Terrence Crawford. 5, Beterbiev. 6, Nakatani. 7, Collazo. 8, Kenshiro Taraji. 9, Jai Opetaia. And 10, Shakur. He says, butcher me if you must.
Hey, Julian, I said to Brendan, if we take Canelo out because of soft touches, I think Jay Opetaia should be in there. We didn't settle on it yet because we said, we think Canelo was going to do.
Yeah, we got to keep him in.
We never went either way. Bro, like, I'm not going to cook you. It's not my list, but it's not my offensive. It's not wild. Bro, Julian, I'm sure you see the list people put up. It's like, number 1, Tank. Number 2,
Yo,
Devin Haney.
fighters put Tank on the top. Like a lot of fighters put Tank on the top billing.
I believe ESPN has Tank in the top 5. There's a guy who's fighting an 18-1 dog, and he's in your top 5 pound for pound. And Sniper Pedraza was his best win 8 years ago. And if you want to get more recent, his best win was a blown up bantamweight in Leo Santa Cruz, who moved up 74 divisions and in boxing age was like 90. And I believe hasn't fought since. If he has, it's been once. So I'm not trying to hear it. Coming up, B, I told you this off air. I couldn't fucking figure out this BXNG, meaning boxing TV. They're airing those Danny cards that Danny's been throwing in Philly. So they're at the casino in Philly is called Live with like an exclamation point.
Casino, boxing, Billy, Philly.
This would have been something, honestly, I would have hit y'all up, been like, let's go through just on some fun.
You want to try?
It's Friday, like a couple days.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is I told you I downloaded this app, and more problematic it could not be. And I almost pulled a Brendan Long and smashed my remote over my knee and kicked the TV. I have no idea what was going on. So it's Friday Affiliate Live, the next day at the 2300 ECW Arena, another card. I don't know if they're both Danny. That's on this boxing TV.
Okay.
I'm scrolling. There's a card on Thursday, January 23rd. Eric Priest, Tyler Howard. That's 9 p.m. on a Thursday night. You know me. I love those Thursday night cards. I'm not familiar with those guys. And then the next day, B, is Naoya Inoue, Yi Jun Kim, 4:15
Hacky weather.
Yes, 4:15 a.m. on a Friday. So
I'll be getting up for work at that time.
That night, Najee Lopez, Lennon Castillo, Pro Box TV, Plant City, Florida.
And we'll shoot you a preview on these next week.
We will. And that's Saturday. If this is IBF and Ring Junior featherweight titles, and I don't know who they are, they have to be girls. Ellie Scottney versus Miyamoto. Okay. Dalton Smith, Waleed Auza. That's in Nottingham. So that's on that card. And then that night in Vegas, Diego Pacheco, Steven Nelson.
Love that fight.
Me too. Love it, love it, love it. Then the last day of January was Friday the 31st. George Littard versus Derek Ozazi in the UK.
Doesn't matter because the next day is
right. The next day is Benavidez Morel, and we're gonna really go into that whole card because there's notable fighters on there. It's Isaac Cruz, I mentioned, was on there. He's fighting a guy named Angel Fierro. I don't know who that is. Yeah. And the other one I told you I forgot is Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario. And Adam Azim is fighting Sergey Lipinets, which I love.
We'll do some predictions on those.
Yes, with all of that. So guys, that's up until February, and then things really start kicking.
We get back into boxing season.
Yeah.
All right. So you could find me at the Killer B24 on Twitter, at I_no_kid on IG. Write us at KOTBboxing@gmail.com. Find us KEOTB Boxing on IG and KOTB Podcast on YouTube. And we're getting more and more YouTube requests, William. People want to see us on YouTube. And I think it's because of your handsome face.
Tell them to send me a DM. That
so
I'll
you
never
cannot
open.
Check it right.
Oh, correct.
It's very tricky. He's being very dastardly.
Dastardly. Yes.
Dick Dastardly, because he's like
Dastardly.
Like, yeah, I'll do it when I get
the Amazing Race. Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
right. Mutt and Jeff.
Remember Muttley though?
Of course. Muttley was the when me and my man Frank would fuck with Jan. He would be like, you're like Muttley, because we would pay each other on.
That's funny.
I'm at Box Cutter Pazzi on IG, at Vinny_Paz on Twitter. By the time this drops, the what's it called jacket should be out. The Hornets flip, the Grandmama Larry Johnson gold tooth pullovers. Look, new music coming soon. jmtstore.com for the knock 'em out the box shirts and all other music related merch. We have info coming soon on the new record, dates dropping, et cetera, et cetera. Anything I'm forgetting, Billy, regarding that?
No, you're good.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, Billy.